Alright everyone, I'm going to show you guys how to put the gel inserts into the gauge cluster on the FZ07. First you want to get your 5mm hex and you're going to take these two screws out. They're not very tight. Once you break them loose you can use by hand and get the rest of the way out. Once you pull the screws out, you're going to put it to the side and this rubber piece is going to be all the way in. You want to pull that off and you'll see the little button there. Just like a regular clip, you're going to want to hit the button and pop it out. Once you do that, it will be free. Now that you have this off and it's free, I recommend putting a towel down or something that's soft, being that you're going to be doing a lot of the work upside down like this. This is plastic, it scratches pretty easy, so do yourself a favor, put a towel down. You'll need a Phillips screwdriver to get all like 16 screws out and a pair of scissors to trim the gels. As they are very close, they may need a small adjustment to fit in there. You'll see why in a second. Once you get those 3 silver screws out, you're going to pull this off. There's little rubber grommets holding it in there. You're going to take all of these screws out all the way around. There's a few of them, you take those off, and this is where the fun begins. Once you get all the screws out, you're going to pull these 2 sections apart. They will be in there pretty good. I would not recommend a screwdriver as you will scratch it or gouge it. Just keep working with it, pulling it apart, maybe run your fingernail in between this line. And once you do so, you'll be able to pop it off. Once you do so, this back plate comes off. You're good. You can throw that to the side. We're not going to need that for a while. This is your, I guess, your main board, your screen. I'm going to pop this out. Whenever you pull this off, there's going to be 2 little black things down here. These are your actual buttons. Most of the time they should stick in there, but sometimes they do end up sticking in there where they actually sit for your buttons. So just make sure you don't lose those as they are free. I'm going to dump them out now and put them to the side because, yeah. So here we go. So this is what the screen is going to look like. It's what you guys see all the time. And these are the cutouts that you may have got. If you want one, shoot me a message. When you do this here, whatever way it goes in, flip-flop it, it's going to sit in here and just make sure it's flush all the way around. If it overhangs, that's fine because there's no screws or anything going in there. And it's better to overhang a little bit so you don't get any bleed of light, anything in there. So it's not the most beautiful fit, but it does its job, and you're not going to see it once it's together. So once you lay that in there, you're going to put it all back together. You get your gel cut perfectly in the way you like it, and make sure that there's no bleed on the outside. Make sure that it covers the whole entire clear part, because if not, then you're going to see right through it, and you're going to see your calculator gauge like you've been seeing. You're going to take these 2 little things that we threw to the side earlier, and as you can see, they're, oh, that's weird. All right, let's try this again. As you can see, there's a top to it and a bottom. You're going to want to put it in these holes on the actual screen itself, facing the right direction. They pop in very easily, and these are what make the buttons work. So once you have that in, you want to lay your screen on top of here, as it's just free and it's laying on these soft rubber things all the way around. So just get it in the general area of where it's going to go. And then you're going to throw the screen, or the cover of the screen, on top of it. Once you do so, you'll see like this. Double check where it sits to make sure you have no bleed or miss spots. If you think it's good, as you can see I'm holding it tight like this, flip it over, and we're going to put this piece back on. Now once the back plate's on, you can put all the screws in and tighten them down. You don't have to go really tight, as these heads will strip it very easily. As you can see, mine are getting a little worn out, not because I'm over tightening them, but because I've done this quite a few times already to try all the different colors and figure out how to do all this. So once it's together, you're going to get this other piece, the mounting bracket, line it up, pop it in place, then you're going to put these silver screws back in place, same thing as before. Tighten them just enough to hold on that they won't rattle loose, but don't go crazy with them as they're not really holding much weight or anything on. So once those 3 screws are in, make sure they are, like I said, decently tight, not to rattle loose, but don't over torque them because it's just plastic. Just make sure all the screws around there are all good, and then take a final look at it to make sure you have no empty spaces all the way around. This is the yellow insert, by the way. I think it fits the best on that one, the armor gray and whatever weird color that is. So we can go over the bike and install it. Guys, coming back to the bike, you're gonna put it on and make sure the button is on the top, and you're just gonna push it in, and once it's clamped in, you're gonna want to get this rubber boot and put it back on top. So whenever you put the clip in, make sure you hear the click when the clip goes in to make sure that it's in there. Force the boot all the way back over because you don't want any water or anything getting in there, as it is in the front of the bike and it could get wet. At this point, I would recommend trying to turn the on position just to make sure it works and it looks how you like it. And there you go. You will have to reset your time, as it did lose its time once you disconnected it. I'll put a link in the description to let you know how to adjust the brightness of the screen and how to change the time, so you guys can do that all in one shot. Once you like it, you're going to put the black screws, silver screws, whatever screws are on your bike, back in, tighten them down, and you are ready to go.